on M7, My Mind Matters. Hey, before we do anything, let's take an opportunity right now just to give you a little indication to what the show is all about. Welcome to M7, My Mind Matters. I'm Paul Becque from EngageWithSuccess.com. This is the ultimate destination for exploring the inner workings of your mind, unlocking the secrets to cultivating a success mindset, and igniting your personal growth for lasting inner peace. Through immersive workshops, you will experience the synergy of breathwork, mindfulness, and meditation as catalysts for your mental fitness and profound transformation. You'll be guided on a path to embrace the present moment, master your mind, and cultivate emotional management. Engage with success and attain your state of grace by tuning in for the live broadcast of M7 My Mind Matters on Mondays at 7 p.m. UK time, or catch up at your convenience on social media. Visit EngageWithSuccess.com and click on the resources button for links and plenty of free inspiration. So, very good evening to you. Thanks for joining us here on M7, My Mind Matters. And of course, that means your mind matters. Each week we have and this is a weekly thing, Mondays at 7, hence the M7. Every Monday at 7 o'clock we get together and we do a little bit of meditation, a little bit of mindfulness, and some breath work. And if those are new terms to you, I promise you don't need to have done this before. We go right back to basics and we give you the opportunity to learn what it's all about. And ultimately, there are several things that are key here. One, if you struggle with your mood, maybe you have swings, ups and downs, or you get angry easily, you get stressed easily, this is certainly for you. And in fact, tonight we will be talking about your default mood. Where do you live generally? What's the mood that you're in? And you may or may not be aware of that. We're going to identify it tonight and help you to overcome the challenges that you may be having. In addition to that, if you find that you're pretty much in a good mood and you're a go-getter and you get things done, but there are times when you struggle, times when you feel frustrated, then this can also work for you. These are tools, that's the best way to explain them. They are tools that will help you to connect on a much deeper level with yourself. They will certainly help you with your mind mastery, because often our mind runs away and we have all sorts of scary thoughts. You may have heard the acronym for fear, false expectations appearing real. That's exactly what thoughts can be. We sometimes believe that horrible things are going to happen to us and it never happens. In fact, the vast majority of the time, it never happens, but we let our imagination get the better of us. And then in addition to that, you've got emotional management. And emotional management is important because, again, our emotions, which can be triggered by our thoughts, can make us feel like the worst is going to happen. And if we can overcome those, if we can stay on top of our thoughts and our feelings, then we're able to drive our actions and our behavior in the direction that we would like it to go. So really, this in a nutshell is all about giving you the opportunity to enjoy life to a much higher degree and to have a better understanding of how you operate. And I know sometimes people criticize me for saying that we all operate the same way, but we do to a certain degree. We're not all the same, but we all have the same gear. We all have the mind, the brain is all working for us. And we are all creatures of habit. What's different, we've created. So your operating system may be different to somebody else's. Your idea of stress might be far slighter than somebody else's. Somebody else might thrive on stress, and you're wondering how on earth they do that. And this is really the operating system. It's our thought patterns, our beliefs that create the environment that we live in. And so it's really important to start becoming aware of your thoughts, aware of the way that you operate, so you can then modify that and improve that and live life to a much higher degree, a much happier degree, and feel a sense of fulfillment no matter what it is that you're doing. So the three tools that we use will be breath work. And then we go into mindfulness, which I always like to think of as an extension of breath work. And then finally, we're going to go into meditation. Now, if any of those terms seem a bit scary to you, please don't allow them to be scary. They're not scary in any way whatsoever. They might just be terms that you've heard of before and you think you've got an understanding of them. But the chances are, I don't want to be horrible and say you don't understand, but the chances are it's something that you may have learned from somebody else or read or experienced once or twice, and you don't necessarily know how it really feels. So tonight, as you may have seen in a little video clip, this is an immersive workshop. So it's not just me sitting here talking to you for 60 minutes. We're going to give you the opportunity to experience these tools. And I change them up week to week to week to week. You're going to get different experiences, different opportunities, so you can try out different ways of meditating, different ways of using mindfulness, different ways of breath work. Ultimately, all three of these work in a beautiful synergy, and you can use them and interchange them in any way you need to. A lot of it depends on the environment and the amount of time you've got. So if you're alone and you've got plenty of time, meditation is the way to go. But if you're surrounded by other people and you haven't got a lot of time, mindfulness might be a better choice. And if necessary, breathing, the breath work, and nobody has to know anything. So let's get started. Let's start with breath work. I want you to get comfortable in your chair. You can lie down, but from my experience, most people fall asleep. So if you can, take the opportunity to sit in a chair, get comfortable. If you're feeling a bit tense, just shake it out. Loosen up your shoulders, shake it out. If you've been on your bum all day long because of work, sat in a chair, maybe driving a great deal, sat at a computer, take a moment if you need to, just stand up and just have a quick stretch and then get comfy in the chair. Once you're in the chair, put your hands on the top of your legs and then close your eyes and take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Breathing in deeply through the nose, hold on to it for a little while. And when you're ready, let it out through your mouth. So in through the nose, hold on to it for a moment, and then out through the mouth. I'm going to count you through the next few breaths. We'll start on 3, then we'll go to 4, and then we'll go to 5. And then we'll just breathe at our own pace again. So take a nice deep breath in through your nose for 1, 2, 3. Hold on to it for 1, 2, 3. And let it out for 1, 2, 3. By the way, if you hear traffic tonight, I apologise about that, but it's so darn hot here in the UK. I think we hit 30 degrees, which some of you will be laughing. You might be 35 and 40 in different parts of the world. But it's 30 here, and that's pretty hot for the UK. And so it's very, very warm. I'm not complaining because I love it. But I am very sticky, very sweaty, and I've got the windows open, so we've got a little breeze coming in. So if you do hear traffic, I apologise. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose for the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on to it for 1, 2, 3, 4. And let it out for 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go for the 5. In through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold on to it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let it out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now just continue breathing at your own pace, in through the nose and out through the mouth, and pay attention, deep attention to your breathing. For example, when you're breathing in, do you feel your chest lift, or is all the air going into your belly? And then when you let the air out through your mouth, do you feel your chest drop, or do you feel your belly deflating? When you breathe in through the nose, is the air warm or is it cool? Can you feel the hairs moving gently, if you have any? Just breathing at your own pace now. Now, whilst you're relaxing, whilst you've calmed down, take a moment just to think about your day. How did your day go? Has it been a great day? Has it been a hell of a day? Mine began well, and mine was very, very stressful. Lots going on today. Lots of frustrations. And on the whole, I think I handled them pretty well. Haven't allowed myself to get stressed out. But it's been tense. How's yours been? Maybe it's been a straightforward day, an easy day. How have you coped with it? Did somebody annoy you? Somebody upset you? Did somebody stress you out? Or was it something? Mine was something. I can share with you. I'm not trying to hide anything. So I posted something on Friday. Should have been signed for on Saturday. And then I called this morning. They still hadn't received it. Called this afternoon. Still hadn't received it. And that was paid for. And then when I went on to follow the tracker, couldn't even get hold of it on the tracker. And then when I called the company that were delivering it, I'm not going to say who they were because I don't want them to be in a bad light, but probably should share. But the fact is that they couldn't even track it. So it's been a bit of a mess, and that was very frustrating. But again, frustration, it's one of those things you can allow it to ruin your day. You can become really, really angry, or you can just look for a way to sort it out, a way to fix it, a resolution. That's what I was able to do. Take a nice deep in the nose, hold on to it for a moment, and let it out through the mouth. Now, let's say you did think of something that went badly today. You can think of something that wound you up, frustrated you. What would be a better way to deal with that? How do you wish you dealt with it? Just think about that for a moment. Can you see, or can you remember, or can you feel why you got stressed and angry? See if you can track it all the way back, trace it all the way back to your thoughts. Because the chances are what you were thinking triggered the emotions. And once you can identify that, once you realize that, that gives you the opportunity to now become in control of your behavior. Because once you can recognize the thoughts that send you crazy, or send you spiraling out of control, or just put you in a state of frustration and anger, then next time you experience them, you've got the opportunity to say, hang on, I know what I'm doing here. And I don't want to get wound up. I don't want to be annoyed. I don't want to be nervous. What's the point in that? Let's just sort this out. Now, this does take practice, but boy, oh boy, is it worth it. If that's something that really appeals to you, if that's something that you would like to learn more about, emotional management and mind mastery, then feel free to reach out to me after the podcast or the broadcast. Easiest way to do that is via the website, engagewithsuccess.com. And if you'd just like to email, it's info@engagewithsuccess.com. Simple. And I'll certainly be happy to help you. If you'd like a 15-minute free of charge strategy call, I'll be happy to organize that for you as well. Just reach out, buzz me an email, and then we can spend 15 minutes talking about the issues that you're experiencing, things that you would like to sort out or fix, and then work together on that. Now, today's focus is your default mood. So let's take a moment whilst you're calm, whilst you're relaxing, to think about your default mood. What do you believe it is? Are you generally a happy person, happy-go-lucky, easygoing, or are you a bit wound up? Are you a very strong manager? Do you like to be in charge? Are you a controller? In positive intelligence, we like to say that there are 10 specific characteristics that can be negative everything from the judge to the controller. There are many different reasons for us having these. But once we can identify them, we can start to modify them. This is very, very important to understand. That's really what the synergy of mind mastery and emotional management is all about. By recognizing your thoughts and seeing what drives your behavior, you can now start to modify it, regulate it, control it. Okay, let's take a nice deep breath in through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on to it for 1, 2, 3, 4, and let it out for 1, 2, 3, 4. So just think of a label right now for your default mood. What would it be? Happy, busy, angry? There are lots of different emotions that you could pick. But which is your default mood? Now, sometimes we've got the wrong end of the stick. We've got the wrong impression. We might be saying that we're actually pretty happy. But when you talk to friends and relatives and employees or colleagues at work, you might get a different scenario shared with you. So I always think it's worth asking friends and family what your default mood is, what they think of you as. Now, a good example of this is a teacher. Think of a teacher from when you was in school. I bet you can think of a teacher that you generally thought of as angry. I bet you thought of another teacher that generally thought of would be fun to be around. So we kind of do that. And you may even be able to do that with your neighbours or family members. What's the default mood of others? If you can identify that for them, then maybe you can start to identify your own. It's really what we want to find out today, because if we can identify it, then we can elevate it. So if you know that you're generally content, maybe you'd like to move into enthusiastic or excited or happy. If you're generally angry, then maybe you'd like to elevate that so you can get closer to calm, easygoing. Just loosen it up a little bit. You're not going to go from angry to happy. It's not going to happen. But you could start to move that default move slowly up the emotional scale. Okay, now that we've thought about that, when you're ready, take that final nice deep breath in through the nose. Hold on to it for a moment and let it out through your mouth. Okay. Now hang on to that thought about your default mood, because we're going to play with that tonight. And we're really going to see if we can identify that and maybe narrow it down to a particular emotion, a particular mood that you can identify easily. And then you can use that as your barometer. So this is where you normally are. And now you want to try and raise it a little bit. Well, if you know that when you're at work, it goes lower and you become more angry, more tense, more stressed, more frustrated, then we want to try and keep it where it is. It doesn't go down at all. And then we can play with this. And you can start to see the different, let's call them temperatures of your moods. So sometimes the lower it gets, the colder it's becoming, and the higher it gets, the warmer it's becoming. So the warmer we can become, the happier we can become. I hope that's making sense. Okay, we're going to move into mindfulness. And mindfulness, I always like to mention this, mindfulness does not stop you from thinking. Often that's what people tell me. They believe that mindfulness stops you from thinking. You will never stop thinking. But what you can do is focus your thoughts. You can be more deliberate about your thoughts. And you can get a sense of being in charge of your mind. Now, as we go through this, because I'm leading the meditation, or I'm leading the exercises, I'm leading the workshop, then you can just follow what I'm saying and you might stay pretty focused. But when you start to do this on your own, and I recommend you do, then you might find your mind wanders even more. So if your mind does wander tonight, let's say you start thinking about what you just had for dinner, or what happened at work today, or what you've got to do tomorrow, just not enough time in the day, just bring your thoughts back as soon as you can. Just identify that they've moved off, they've moved away. Your mind's running away now. It might be going a million miles an hour. Bring it back. Bring it back and relax. Okay, when you're comfortable, close your eyes and get ready for our meditation with mindfulness. Now, personally, I see mindfulness and meditation as being very different techniques. Lots of people think of mindfulness and meditation, or call it mindful meditation. But I like to use the 5 senses to be able to focus. So once you've got your eyes closed, we won't use sight. We'll use that last. Let's go to our ears. What can we hear? I'm going to turn my music down. I want you to focus on the sounds that you can hear around you. Excuse me. So what can you hear around you right now? Maybe like me, you've got the windows open so you can hear outside quite easily. Try to extend your hearing as far as you possibly can. So see if you can hear sounds way beyond your home, way beyond the room you're in, way beyond the windows. Sounds that are outside, perhaps a plane flying overhead, maybe birds outside the garden, maybe people walking up down the street. What sound can you hear in the distance? Once you hear it, just label it. Maybe you're going to say car, maybe you're going to say birds, aeroplane, just a quick label so you've identified exactly what it is. See if you can hear another sound, perhaps even further away. Perhaps it's just a gentle hum of traffic in the background, really outside the window, but you can hear the motorway, the highway, maybe a motorbike in the distance. Label that sound. Now bring your hearing much closer. Bring it into the room that you're in. See if you can hear a sound in the room that you're in. Is it a sound in the room you're in, or you can hear a sound from next door, a sound from a TV, the kids playing, something of that nature? So it's not actually in the room that you're in. You can hear it from here easily. What about your own breathing? Can you hear that? Can you hear your own breathing? If you can't, then maybe try and exaggerate it. So when you're breathing in, make some sound. I can't hear you, I can't see you, so there's no need to be embarrassed. Excuse me. Okay, we're going to change now from hearing to touch. So put your focus now on your hands that should be on your legs. And just rub them up and down your legs gently and focus on the fabric beneath your hands. Is it denim? Don't look. See if you can remember what you're wearing. Maybe the touch of the fabric will remind you. Is it furry, hairy, silky? Just a rough cotton, smooth cotton? Maybe you're in shorts. Maybe you've been out for a run or cycling in the heat. And you can just feel your legs beneath your hands. That's okay too. Just pay exquisite attention to what's beneath your hands. How does it feel? Is it warm? Is it cold? If your hands are directly on your legs and your skin, can you feel the hairs? Or maybe you're a little bit cold. Maybe you've got air conditioning where you are and you can feel little goosebumps, chicken skin as my wife likes to call it. Maybe you can feel that. Now let's go to taste. So put all your attention on the inside of your mouth. You can move your tongue around inside the mouth if that helps. Try to feel or identify any flavors that might be coming through. If you just had dinner, can you still taste lunch? Maybe you cleaned your teeth recently. You can taste and smell the toothpaste. Maybe you had some gum on the way home, driving home. You can taste that. There's no right or wrong here. It's just taking a moment to identify the flavors in your mouth. Again, all of this can be done in a heartbeat. If you're in a situation where you're starting to feel wound up, nervous, anxious, and you can feel the triggers being squeezed, get to a place where you're on your own. Just sit down, close your eyes, and you could focus on the taste. You could focus on what you can hear. You can focus on your heartbeat. You can focus on your breathing. Just take a moment to be in solitude and alone with yourself and identify something and put all your attention, all your focus on it. The more you do this, the more it can calm you down, the quicker you can get there. This can really help with your resilience. So if your default mood is lower than you would like it to be, if you know that you are pretty grumpy, but you prefer to be happy, then maybe do this, and when you come out of it, know that you're going to be in a better mood. Pick an emotion that's just a bit better than what you are now. Don't try to be incredibly happy, because that might be too far of a stretch. Just work your way up that emotional scale. A little bit happier today, a little bit happier tomorrow, a little bit happier the day after, so on and so forth. And now finally, let's go to smell. This is by far my weakest sense. I can't really smell anything in here tonight. Sometimes I can smell fragrance. My wife's had a perfume on. I can smell my fragrance. Maybe you've got one of those squirty things that sprays a fragrance every now and again. Maybe you can smell that. I'll tell you something we did smell today very easily, very identifiable: burning wood. Because carpenters have an extension added to the house. The carpenters were cutting through wood. My wife, her name's Helen. Helen was saying how much she loves the smell of that burning wood, hot wood, as it's being cut up. Easy to identify. Maybe you can smell something right now. Maybe somebody's barbecuing. Maybe neighbors have got the barbecue going. You can smell it. Maybe you have a Chinese restaurant, an Indian restaurant, a fish and chip shop nearby, and you can smell the food. Especially if you've got the windows open. The taste is a great one because you can do this whenever you eat. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, a little bar of chocolate. Take the opportunity to close your eyes and really focus on what's in your mouth, and focus not just on the flavor, but also the texture, the temperature. Try to identify everything. Is it smooth on the tongue? Is it bumpy? Is it hard to bite? Or is it soft and jelly-like? There's so many different things that you can identify. Okay, and finally, I'm going to get you to open your eyes. And now just look ahead of you, whatever's in front of you. It could be something nearby. It could be something beyond your computer screen, iPad screen, phone screen, whatever it is that you're looking at to do this. Or maybe you just got your eyes closed, you've got earphones on, but open your eyes up right now and look at the wall furthest away, or if there's nothing to look at, if it's not wallpaper, it's just plain wall, and maybe look around the room and find a picture or a mirror or something interesting that you can look at. Now pay exquisite attention to that. For example, if you're in the bedroom and you can see the headboard, is it velvet? Is it cotton? Is it wooden? What material is it made of? Would it feel hard to touch or soft to touch? Would it be a velvet or a cotton? Or would it be wood? Is it varnished? Would it be smooth? Or is it natural wood and it might be bumpy? Maybe you're looking at a mirror. Maybe it's got a metal frame. Would that be cold or warm? Is it bumpy? Is it smooth? Is it sharp? Just pay attention to it. Focus on it for a moment. Now look at the colours in detail. Is it one plain colour, but maybe it changes colour because the light is on it and there's a reflection of light? Maybe it's red, but because the bright light is so bright, it's got a white line across it. Or is it many different shades? Is it one colour, predominantly grey, for example? You see dark greys, light greys, the fabric's folded, and so you see different colours. There's no right or wrong, it's just a matter of paying attention and notice how by focusing on something, you can really calm down because you're calming your thoughts. Your attention has been distracted. This is why sometimes when we have a hobby, whether it be painting or knitting or crocheting, drawing, playing music, the hours seem to go so quickly because our attention is taken away and we're doing something that we enjoy, and the time just flies. And then you get the opposite experience when your attention is taken by something but you're just not enjoying it. It's hard work, it's laborious perhaps, and the day just seems to drag. So the learning from that is do something you love as much as you can, as often as you can, and just see how quickly the days go, the weeks go, the months go. Have you ever said to yourself, I can't believe this year? It's already September 2023. So the time can really, really fly by. Okay. You've got your eyes open. Just want you to come back to me for a moment and focus on the screen once again. Now we're going to move into our final part of the evening, which is meditation. Now, again, I know that this can really cause a lot of people to start thinking about, oh, I know what this is. Oh, I know where this is going on. Some people might just be confused by the term and not know what it means, and already have decided, oh, it's not for me. I don't meditate. So if you haven't done it before, how can you really say? So it's really worth experiencing it tonight. Now, in all seriousness, it is a combination of the skills used for breath work, because we will be breathing, consciously breathing. It is the mindfulness, and then we take ourselves on this extraordinary journey. I'm going to take you on a deep meditation this evening. So even if you've been in previous calls, previous M7 workshops, then let's enjoy this one. We've got a little bit of time on our side this evening. So when you're ready, just close your eyes in the chair, get comfortable. If you feel like you need to stretch because you've been sat down for some time now, do that when you're ready. Just have a little shake out, shrug your shoulders or stand up for a moment. Just get really, really comfortable. Let out any stress you might have, any anxiety. You can do it with that noise. Again, I can't hear you, so just feel free. Take a nice deep breath and let it out by going, But tonight I'm going to get you to focus just before your eyes, imagine there's a ball about the size of a ping pong ball, or at the largest, a tennis ball. And it's like a miniature sunshine, 4, 5, 6 inches in front of you, and it's rotating. And as it turns around gently, you can feel the heat on your skin as it radiates its heat. Almost like being by the pool on holiday and feeling the sunshine on your face. Imagine that heat coming off of that ball, sunshine, that miniature sunshine, and now that heat, feel it on your eyelids. It's as if little wells of sunlight, or this beautiful golden light, white light, this energy is building up now on your eyelids, like two little wells, two little pools of light. And as it gets deeper and deeper and deeper, I want you to imagine now the light absorbing through the skin so that it can envelop your eyes. If your eyes are tired from having been on a computer all day, or having to look at lists all day, or reading all day, I don't know what you do. Maybe you've had to work in bright lights all day. Maybe you've been driving all day. So many different things that we can do. Just imagine that light healing your eyes, relaxing your eyes, resting your eyes. And that light now envelops the eyes all the way around, round and round and round and round, inside the skull, outside the skull. It feels good. In fact, it's so good you could drift off, you could nod off. Don't do that. But that's how relaxed you're feeling. Now feel that light come up onto the bridge of the nose, and continue spreading itself now up onto the forehead, making its way to the left and the right, and onto the temples of the head. And that light is very relaxing. It's loving, it's caring, it's massaging your forehead. That feels good. That feels really good. Now imagine that light continue its journey from your eyes over the bridge of the nose, up onto the forehead, out to the temples, and now let's take it up onto the top of the head, up over the top of your hair or your scalp. Just feel that massaging the top of your head. Very restful, very relaxing. Take that light down over the back of your head, down towards the back of your neck, and feel that light caring, massaging, helping you to really relax on a very deep level. Oh boy, that feels good. We're going to take that light down through the right arm. So let's go into the right shoulder first. Feel the energy and imagine with your mind's eye rotating around the shoulder, whizzing around, zooming around like a circle on the outside of your arm, coming down the shoulder onto the biceps and the triceps. And imagine that light can now penetrate the skin as well. And that feels good. It's really rubbing your muscles, massaging your muscles. And you're feeling more relaxed all the time. Down to your right elbow, into the right forearm, coming down there into the wrist. And now bring that light into the right hand, into the palm of the hand, and the light now comes out through the right thumb. A beam of light shooting out through that right thumb. then your index finger, your middle finger, your wedding band finger, and then finally your little finger. 5 beams of light coming out through that right hand. Let's go back to the left shoulder. See the light rotating around that shoulder, around the arm, coming down onto the biceps and triceps, rotating the arm, round and round it goes, but also penetrating the skin, relaxing the muscles. It's almost like being in a hot tub. It feels so good. Down towards the elbow, into the forearm now, making its way into the wrist, and just for a moment, allow that light to go round and around the wrist. Got any aches or pains there, just release them now. Oh, that feels good. And now imagine that light coming out through the thumb of your left hand, index finger, middle finger, wedding band finger, and then finally the little finger. 5 beams of light now coming out through your left hand. And that feels amazing. You're loving it. Back to the shoulders. Let's bring that light down now over the front of the torso, over the chest area. As it comes down on the outside, also imagine it going inside, penetrating the skin and the rib cage, caring now, loving the light swirling around your heart, the light swirling around your lungs, loving them, caring for them, healing them if necessary. Bringing that light down over your 6-pack, if you got one. I don't. Down over your belly. Bring the light down, front only, just towards the hips. And now imagine that light swinging around in a circle around your waist area. Almost like where your belt is, on your belt line, swinging around and around and around. Now we've got to go back to the top of the neck, because we're going to come down the vertebra, down the spine. And this is a really important one. Vertebra by vertebra, little by little. Feel the energy coming down your back. Vertebra by vertebra, feeling good, feeling relaxed. And as it makes its way down the spine, not just through the bones, but the little cushions, the pads between each and every bone. Excuse me. About halfway now. Continuing down, bone by bone by bone, vertebra by vertebra. Really relaxing. You're loving it. Getting close to the tail now, the very end of your spine. And now allow that light to join up with the waist, and the light spinning around your waist area on that belt line. Round and round and round it goes. Now let's take it into the right leg, into the right buttock. And start bringing that light down and around the big muscles at the top of the leg. Spinning around. Caring, loving, relaxing. And now into the right knee. Got aches and pains in those knees. Just release any aches or pains, any tension you might have, just let it go. Now beyond the knee, into the shins and the calves. Coming down towards the right ankle. See that light spinning around the right ankle. From the ankle now, into the heel of the foot. Bringing it forward to the arch of the foot, and then the flat of the foot, and then finally out through the right hand toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beams of light coming out through that right side. Let's do the same on the left now. Bring that energy into the left buttock, into the top of the left leg, bringing it forward gently, down that leg. Oh, this feels good. Spinning around the outside of the leg, massaging the muscles, down into the knee. From the knee into the lower part of the leg, the shins, the calves. Into the ankles. And from the ankles into the heel of the foot, the ball of the foot. Bringing it forward to the arch of the foot, the flat of the foot, and then finally out through the 5 toes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 beams of light now coming out like laser beams through your toes. Just enjoy that for a moment. Sitting there luxuriating, like being in a hot bath. Really intensify the golden glow that you've got coming off of your body now, like an aura. And imagine that light as being health, as being happiness, being complete and utter joy, and you are saturated. You are luxuriating in it. Now, whilst you're here, I want you to think once again about your default mood. Is it anything like this? Is it this relaxed? Is it this joyous? This might be something you want to consider doing a little more often. And the more you do this, the quicker you can get here. So if you actually feel really good right now, really relaxed, not a care in the world, not a worry in the world, and thinking this is great, then practice. Practice, practice, practice. You can listen to this as often as you like. You've got the broadcasts on YouTube, you've got the podcasts available to you. You can find all of this on engagewithsuccess.com. Click on resources and you'll see it. And to really enjoy this moment. Now, if this is not your default mood, would you like it to be? Would you like to be this relaxed more often? Because it's something you can do. We are creatures of habit. We just need to practice it. And sometimes you hear people talk about, you got to do it for a week, or 2 weeks, 3 weeks. From my experience, you really need to practice something for 90 days to make it a habit. Less than that might last for a while. The longer you do it, the longer it'll last. If you want to make it a habit that you may do for the rest of your life, 90 days is what you want to aim for. So once again, think about your default mood. Is it a good one or is it a bad one? Is it something you're proud of? Or are you tired of it? Do you know you get angry easily? Do you know you're pretty grumpy? And hey, listen, I'm not saying that you shouldn't feel the way you feel. Maybe you've had a trauma. Maybe something bad's happened. But if you don't feel good, change your default mood. And sometimes it happens to us, we need a little time to get over it. So please don't feel like you're in the wrong place. But if you know it's time to move on, time to move forward, time to be happier, then try getting in this place more often. Okay, now whilst we're here with our eyes closed, relaxing on a very deep level, just imagine a place that you would love to be. What would be a paradise for you? Would it be the beach? Maybe it's a local beach, maybe it's a Caribbean beach. Maybe it's a white sandy beach with a beautiful turquoise ocean. Maybe you don't like the water. Maybe you'd much rather be in the woods or a forest or a meadow. Maybe you like the idea of a tropical rainforest, somewhere near water, and you can hear the water crashing down. Or perhaps you like the idea of being in the mountains, high up in the mountains with a cool air blowing, so high up that there's nothing but you and a couple of goats and perhaps an eagle or a bird of prey. Maybe it's so high up there's still snow on the caps. You decide. It's whatever's best for you. Think of a place that you would love to go and you can feel completely at ease and relaxed. That's what this is really about. Getting comfortable, getting relaxed. Now, whilst you're in that location, just pay a little attention to the sounds you can hear. I'll take my music away for a moment. In the background, you can hear the water. If it's the beach, maybe you can hear the water lapping up onto the sand or the rocks. If you're in a meadow, perhaps you can hear the wind in the trees rustling the leaves or the grass. Maybe there's a torrent of water nearby and you can hear it crashing down on the rocks. Or maybe you're up in the mountains and you can hear the wind whistling around your ears. If there was any wildlife wherever you are, what would it be? Would it be crabs? Would it be seagulls? What would you like to see around you? If you're in a meadow, would it be a Bambi, a hedgehog, a fox, a badger? If you're up in the mountains, what wildlife would you expect to see? And whatever you pick, imagine that coming closer to you right now. And it's just investigating you. It's nothing bad. Nothing bad's going to happen. It's just investigating. It's like, well, what is this person doing here? And it's interested. It's sniffing away. It wants to smell you. It's coming closer and closer. It may be a bird. It's hopping, getting a little bit closer, a little bit closer. It may be something with its snout to the ground and it's sniffing as it gets closer. You decide this is your haven of peace. Now it comes right up to you, so close that its beak or its nose touches the side of your face. And that it's actually touched you, it moves away. It goes back to safety. But it feels relaxed around you. Clearly, you're not trying to attack it. So it's happy. It's at peace with you. You're at peace with it. And now the animal decides to run off or fly off and leave you just lying there in your location of happiness. Just for a moment, feel the ground beneath you. So imagine in your mind's eye, so you're not lying down, but in your mind's eye, imagine if you're lying in the sand. Is it wet? Is it dry? Is it giving way? Is it absorbing you? If it's rocks, can you feel them digging into you? If it's grass on the soil, is the soil wet or dry? Is the grass long or short? And whilst you're on your back, look up into the sky and notice how blue the sky is. And just one little cloud coming across the sky. One little cloud. And as you look into the sky and see the blue, you can really feel the heat of that sunshine again. You remember just how hot it is. Wow. You are the closest you've been to the sun for a long, long time, and that feels good. Feeling that energy now. Relaxing. Resting you. Okay, take a nice deep breath in through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold on to it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let it out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do the same again for 4. In through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on to it for 1, 2, 3, 4, and let it out for 1, 2, 3, 4. Now with your eyes closed, just bring your energy back into the room. Remember where you are. Maybe you nodded off a little bit. Maybe you're feeling really, really tired at the moment. And now when you're ready, open your eyes again and just get orientated. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you found it useful. Remember, M7 My Mind Matters is at 7 o'clock every Monday. That's when it's live. You can also catch up on the podcast or the broadcast, and you can find all of that on engagewithsuccess.com. You can also go to m7mymindmatters.com. It'll take you to exactly the same place, but sometimes it's easier to find that. I hope you found it useful. Again, this is something you need to practice. If you just do it once a week, that will help, but it will not have the power of doing it once a day. And so sometimes you find you're really, really busy and it's tough to tap into this. So just do the breathing exercises. Close your eyes and breathe consciously. Or another time you might have a bit more time on your hands, so you decide to focus on something. Or maybe you haven't done anything all day and you want to do some mindfulness. So you do it while you're eating your lunch. And you pay attention to your sandwich and whatever it is that you're eating. You say, wow, this is delicious. It really is easier than you think to get grounded, to get connected with who you really are. And when you do that, the chances are very, very high that you're going to get a sense of peace. So I hope you found this really, really useful. I would like your comments, and if there's any areas that you would like to specifically talk about, then I'd love it if you could jump onto engagewithsuccess.com or just email me at info@engagewithsuccess.com and tell me what it is that you would like to learn about or read about, and I will happily move on to that. If there are recently somebody asked me about manifestation. People have been asking me about money. So we can go on to these things. If there's any other areas that are particularly interesting for you, feel free to reach out and let me know. So a big thank you. My name is Paul Becque. I am a coach, a success coach and mindset trainer. And if you get any questions, feel free to email. This has been M7, My Mind Matters.
Welcome to M7 My Mind Matters. I'm Paul Becque from engagewithsuccess.com. This is the ultimate destination for exploring the inner workings of your mind, unlocking the secrets to cultivating a success mindset, and igniting your personal growth for lasting inner peace. Through immersive workshops, you will experience the synergy of breathwork, mindfulness, and meditation as catalysts for your mental fitness and profound transformation. You'll be guided on a path to embrace the present moment, master your mind, and cultivate emotional management. Engage with success and attain your state of grace by tuning in for the live broadcast of M7 My Mind Matters on Mondays at 7 p.m. UK time, or catch up at your convenience on social media. Visit engagewithsuccess.com and click on the resources button for links and plenty of free inspiration.